Godzone Medicine, PS4 and PS5 nowadays, and Medic Maniac YouTube. So after talking about what it's like to try and partake in the customization and the exploitation of the credit system in this game and the exploitation of gamers, and after talking about the paint editor in Gran Turismo for someone like me, and my sort of views on that, I thought I'd do another little video talking about tuning. So let's go into my garage, and if I go to my car settings, then we can see that here I've got body height adjustment, I've got anti-roll bar adjustments, I've got all these adjustments, all the good things that I would need to try and set up my car. Now, what I learned in Forza Motorsport in tuning was setting up a car. First of all, building a car was very unique and specific to the type of track that you wanted. So, for example, if you were doing a shorter track, you might need more torque, because torque to get you there, acceleration, and horsepower to keep you there, right? So if you're doing a shorter track, you're going to need more torque because you need more acceleration to the points to kind of maximize your way around it. A short version of Sukuba might spring to mind, or a short version of Catalunya might spring to mind. If you're doing a longer track, Le Mans, Nürburgring, you're going to need HP to keep you there. You're going to need grunt, you're going to need top end, right? So if you're trying to maximize a build on a car, you need to take into consideration what kind of track that is. The other thing I learned in putting together a car, because some cars, if you go in the higher classes, you're going to have more grunt, you're going to have more, more power. If you go in the low classes, you're going to have less power. So you're going to need things on your car to maximize the ability to utilize that power. So, for example, your flywheels or your, gears. Some cars need gear replacements anyway, and then you need to tune the individual gears and maximize the individual gears around specific tracks. So when we're talking about tuning, first of all, the build is track specific, or can be track specific. You can do builds that you can utilize on, numerous tracks. Yeah, you can. Like if you're doing GP circuits, for example, if in Forza that we had different classes, and we put, my favourite was C class, but you had classes lower than C class and classes higher. The classes higher were B and A, and obviously the classes lower were D and E and stuff, or F or whatever. You get the idea. In Gran Turismo, you get point settings. So, for example, this car, this Alpha, I'm trying to get to fit into the 600 point bracket, so I'm 0.07 off that, which is not a bad attempt, for this particular build. And then, like, once you've got your build and it's specific for your car and the type of track, or tracks plural, that you're building it for, then you'll need to do a tune. Now, with tracks being different, for example, Catalunya having off-camber turns, I used to do a lot of tuning at Catalunya. I know people that used to religiously tune for Nürburgring, but you can do a track-specific tune, right? You set up your car. Maybe you do your tuning at a few tracks and try and optimize your car's grip and its camber settings and whatever, your differential settings and stuff for a few tracks. Maybe you try and kind of get the best of tracks to race in, for your car to race on numerous tracks. Maybe you do track-specific tune, but whatever tuning. So, so you get the idea. You know, if depending how much passion and how much you really want to get into games like this and how much you want to utilize that customization, then you have opportunity. You know, games like this present you with opportunity. If that floats your boat, and it certainly floats mine, then there's a lot to dive into. So I have all these settings here. Right, I'm going to come out of this now, having explained all that. And I'm going to say, where is my test track? Right? Because I'm not seeing one. I'm not seeing an option for me to go testing my car and tuning it at specific tracks. If I want to drive this car around any tracks, there is no testing option purposely dedicated for me to go into to tune my car and set it up. Furthermore, I shall expand on that a bit more. If I wish to go to the upgrade shop and upgrade my car, maybe I'd like to try parts out to try and do a track specific build, and maybe it would be useful for me to test my build at varying tracks before I commit to buy them because of the nerfed credit system in this game. Right? Pause for emphasis, because those options would be gamer friendly. So let's go to the circuits to have a look at the circuits to see if we can find a tuning testing or build testing option there. Let's go to Europe because, you know, Europe rocks, and yeah, because I'm from Europe, obviously. So Europe rocks. There you go. So let's pick Catalonia, my old favourite stomping ground for testing and tuning and stuff in Forza Motorsport. I mean, I did other track-specific, you know, builds and tunes like for Mazda Laguna and the Nürburgring itself. I used to do a lot of stuff for Nürburgring, which is always a hoot, no aero, as I used to say. But here we've got arcade race, circuit experience, time trial, drift trial, and custom race. Where is my testing options for tuning? Because they're not there, are they? Right? So they're not in the collection of circuits, and they're not anywhere else. Are they at GT Auto? No. Are they in the upgrade shop? No. So nobody bothered to put them in then. They gave us the option to buy parts and the option to give real cash in case we didn't have enough credits. And they gave us the option to alter said parts that we might buy here, but I don't see where I can utilize this while I'm actually driving round to feel how it changes. Have I missed something? If I've missed it, pray tell me, where is it? So I've got a game. I went to the shop and I bought a PlayStation 5 to play this game on that sold me you can get cars, you can customize build them, customize tune them, customize paint them, and you gave me, you know, this what you call a tuning shop, which is an upgrade shop. You gave me a garage where I can change my settings, and you didn't give me any option to actually test it and drive it and tune it and test my builds and stuff at all. Did you not think that I might find those options extremely useful? When you sat round your tables in your numerous meetings while you were planning this out with all your experience of creating games like this and your real world experience of that you talk about when you took your driving lessons and, you know, drove all those cars, Did you not think that something for your gamers while they're sat on their backside in their lounge with their pad in their hand might be useful? I'd just like to point out at this stage that I'm not a professional game developer. I have not been paid for this critique, and yet it is blindingly bloody obvious. My delivery is of disappointment and letdown. That is why I'm delivering it in such a manner. Lazy springs to mind. But you weren't lazy when it came to building it and structuring it deliberately to try and extort as much real-world money out of the player, were you? Hence my disdain. God's own medicine, over and out.